intense parenting and how to do math in everyday life with your kid, if your kid especially goes to elementary school. So we're talking about different topics that could make math a little bit more familiar to your kid. For instance, you go to school with her every day. You use it for math. You go grocery shopping every week. Use it for math. Or at least go to the grocery store with cash. So that's a second example. And so yeah, let's talk about those two. Whenever you go to school in the morning, just ask your kid if your kid is familiar with addition. So you have, and start with a very simple question. You have $4. 1 pound of bananas is $1. So how many pounds of bananas would you be able to buy? If your kid is able to answer that question, then move to oranges. The oranges, on the other hand, would be 50 cents per pound. You still have $4. How many pounds of oranges would you be able to buy? If your kid is thinking about it, that's great. We would usually start with addition, so she would add 50 and 50 and 50 and 50 and 50, and then we would understand that if you have $4, then it's actually 8 pounds of oranges, 50 cents per pound, and that's addition. But then I would ask her, okay, so you have calculated, you're great. You used addition. How can we make it easier? How can we use multiplication? And then the question of multiplying things pops up. How do you do that? So you have 1 pound that costs 50 cents, and you have $4. So 50 cents you have to multiply for how many pounds in order to get the dollars. So that's a difficult exercise for a 7-year-old, but it is doable depending on how advanced your kid is whenever you're driving him or her to school. So with us, we gradually moved from addition to multiplication, and then division was the last one on our table because we didn't use division for a long time because our favorite was addition, so she was adding many things all the time, and then she just got bored with it and fed up with it, and then multiplication was a real savior for her, for my 7-year-old, because she understood that if you use multiplication, it's actually quite easy to calculate stuff. So this is what we did. Bananas, $1 a pound, very simple. Oranges, 50 cents a pound. Also, a little bit complicated. And the very complex issue, 25 cents per pound. Those were plums. But before you go into those calculations, consider just using quarters. Consider teaching your kid, so how many quarters do you have in a dollar? How many quarters do you need to buy 4 pencils if one pencil costs 25 cents each? Entice them with something that they know. For instance, if the school in their neighborhood or the library in their neighborhood has a shop with pencils, and every wonderful pencil, rainbow pencil, or a pencil with a feather in it, well, those pencils, they usually cost 25 cents each or 50 cents each, and kids are very excited about them and usually want them so badly, even though the ones with at the Walmart, they're not as expensive, to say the very least. But yeah, motivate your kid and say to him or her, hey, you want that pencil? How much does it cost? So you want 2 pencils. How much money would you want to have to buy those 2 pencils? So just those conversations, lead those conversations, ask those questions, and the math will be the least of your problems, believe me. The math is simple. Even if you have a complex problem, you can always divide and conquer. You can always divide that problem into simpler problems and just go from there. That was intensive parenting. How to calculate, how to do math in the car. And yeah, with grocery shopping, you just do cash. If your groceries, you calculated that they would cost $25 and you have 30, you give your kid $30 and then she goes to the cashier register and then you ask her, so how much money did you get back? How much money did you save? You got 30. It was supposed to be 25. So how much money do you have now?